Medium enterprises in any state, any country is one of the biggest, one of the best, the bedrock of the state of the country's economy, right? So if they are not, if there are not, if there is not enough or conducive environment for them to perform or to function, that is going to have an adverse effect on the economy of that state and that country, and that's the reason why the governor has taken it seriously to make sure that the youth in the state and SMEs in the state perform and thrive better. So today, let's also talk about. Let's start with the ES program that the center has rolled out, and explain and tell people what the program is about and what has been happening with that program as well.
Okay, thank you very much. So the ES program is called the Enugu Youth Empowerment Scheme. It's under our job creation initiatives. The Enugu SME Center provides concessionary loans to small and medium enterprises, single-digit loans, and micro enterprises. So it was during this administration that we decided to define human capital as a sector for funding, which brought about the Human Capital Development Loans, which is a zero-interest loan for to get technical training, whether technical or non-technical training, and subsequently be subsumed into jobs. So the ES program is one of the first initiatives under that scheme. It's a partnership with a private sector firm called Wild Fusion, where they'll be training in very high-earning capacities under digital marketing, a lot of content development, SEO optimization, graphic designing, the full sleuth of capacities that are needed for world-class digital marketing capacities. So to be trained to them. So where we are now is we just consummated the documentation process for the first batch of 450. I think we're basically done. Everybody has signed up. They've met the ones that wanted to pay upfront paid of the subsidized fee. This is something that we took down, that we were able to bring down from 350K to 50,000. So they were able to access the Human Capital Development Loan for 50,000 to participate in this program. So some people, a small number, decided to pay upfront, but at least 90% of them took advantage of the Human Capital Development Loan. And so we have a requirement where you can use a guarantor or you can self-guarantee. And if you're self-guaranteeing, typically most of India Enugu have savings accounts. And unfortunately, savings account is not, the checkbook that is offered is not acceptable over the counter. So if I'm using First Bank savings account, I can't pay it into an Access or any other bank. Same thing with most of the microfinance banks. Unfortunately, their checks are not acceptable over the counter. Some are, like Nice or Microfinance Bank, I think Green Bank as well. So there are a few of them that decided to self-guarantee, and they applied for a current account and are applying for their checkbook, right, which we are supporting them in. So I think by next week they should have it ready. So by next week Wednesday we'll close it. Once we get those people to sign up, we'll have our first 450 that will start the program. We believe within 10 days from next week Wednesday, the program should kick off. But all participants will be communicated as to the date and location where the training will commence before the onboarding into the job scheme. Then we have the Enugu Tech. Enugu Tech is a partnership with Utiva. Utiva is a foremost edu-tech company, educational technology company. So this first batch, we plan on training with 5,000 within the Enugu Tech program. So this first batch, what we're focusing on is product design, UI, UX, and we have web and app development. So of the 5,000 people that applied for these first two programs, we chose the first 1,500, which we have been onboarding all of them on WhatsApp groups so they can be oriented on the process. We've also shared with them a document. It's called the Frequently Asked Questions document. So it's like 3-4 pages deep, which answers pretty much any question they'll have, because typically they have questions. They want to understand how the program works, how the loan works, and it's quite novel. So it needs constant explanation. But I'm quite happy. We have about 6 groups of them on WhatsApp right now, being handled by our customer service team, and they are all receptive. And we should start the documentation process from Monday. That should last 2 weeks. because of the volume. So it's going to start Monday 7th September. It's going to end Monday 21st September. Then we have the Auto Revamp Innovative Training Program, AITP, in partnership with Auto Ace Services, Auto Ace Limited. Again, we have onboarded the first batch of them into the WhatsApp group for orientation. We have a scheduled face-to-face feedback session on Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. for that selected group.
Tuesday next week.
Yes, Tuesday next week, 9:30 a.m. at the same location where they went for the interviews. It will be communicated to them, but Auto Ace's factory in Zix Avenue. And
this is for only the people picked, right?
For the first batch, yes. Because of the volume of questions, so when they're in the WhatsApp group, they're asking questions, the admins were responding to them, but we also want to give them the opportunity for face-to-face, because we know is certain things that might seem a bit too technical for them. They can ask face-to-face and get a direct response, and see where we can, we're also taking in their questions, their feedback, and seeing how we can accommodate that into the program. So that face-to-face session is going to be on Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. Auto Ace's factory to be communicated to them, but they are being onboarded as well and oriented. We started that process 2 days ago, and they are all receptive. So they've onboarded the 3 batches now. This is the 3rd batch they just onboarded. They onboarded some participants. The 2nd batch. They had a scheduled training session for the 3 pilot locations. So we've set up offices for them in 3 locations, one in Udi, one in Okano West, and one in Osuka. This was based on
installments.
You can pay in installments. There is a payment plan. So there are different packages which will be marketing. They have different products, different packages, and you can pay daily. Maybe they'll be deducting from your credit, whether you're using Etisalat, MTN, all of them, probably 15 naira a day, or small deductions like they have the weekly plan, monthly plan. It's very, so someone like him that wants to empower people, he can buy up front and just provide it to the communities, and they'll have lights going forward. They just have to be recharging. Or he can buy it on credit and be paying their installments for them if he wants to do it. Or businesses, small businesses, if you're a small barber, you're in a market, you can get this thing, do pay as you go. And you don't have to be constrained by EDC or things of that nature. They have their they have their products that come with their own barbing kits. It's gonna be fantastic. So they just onboarded this 2nd batch, 157 of them. Udi local in Udi, Nkano West, and Onsuka. So we'll keep going. The job interviews for them is going to be on the 4th today. And like I said, before the month runs out, we're now going to push the product out there for them to keep selling.
All right, and then for the agents as well, can you talk a little bit about how they're supposed to their payment, their salary, the remuneration they're supposed to
so
get?
Initially, how the company operates, because they have this agent network across the country, right? And initially it was going to be solely commission based. Right, it was going to be solely commission based, and but they had certain stipends to take care of, like transportation and things of that nature. But upon my interaction with them, letting them know that this territory is a bit different compared to what they might be operating in probably in the north or whatnot, that there has to be a combination of both a salary structure and a commission based structure. So we had to revamp the process and incorporate that into it. So it's a combination of salary and commission. Yes. Interesting.
Lovely. Right.
So we have more.
Hackathon.
Yes, hackathon. I'm quite excited with that. We're going to make the announcement of the top 10 today.
Top 10
finalists that are going to present. I tell you, my brother, we've had some interesting things. I don't want to mention them all, but so many innovative ideas. There's a company that created a power source, so something that can power your TVs, whatever you see, with what do you call it? Cassava water. Can you imagine? Is it cassava? Yes, cassava water.
Cassava apple.
Yes.
Wow.
So when when they are, locally, there's the water that comes out of it. That water has electrolytes inside and ethanol. So they use the electrolytes and ethanol to create a power source that can pretty much is like a power. Not really like a power source. Like they have a machine
that
has the water and everything inside. Then when you can plug your appliances into it and it powers it. Yeah, so I just wanted to mention one, but there are so many of them. So we had 300 applications. We chose the first 25 2 weeks ago. So the team that the Enugu SME Center partnered with Binary Hills and Ubrasoft, the guys pushing this initiative on our behalf, and they're also managing the back end in terms of the incubation process, selection process, and things of that nature. And they chose the first 25, so they are announcing the top 10, and it's that top 10 that is going to present at the hackathon event. So this is going to be a quarterly series. This first one is the first series. It's going to be on the 11th September, Friday the 11th September. It's going to be Friday 11th September by 10 o'clock at Bond Sunshine Hotel. And we'll make the announcements, and it's quite exciting.
It is.
And we've had private sector firms that now, they are quite desirous in providing more support. So I believe from subsequent series, the second phase, the third phase, the quarterly series will have more people interested in supporting initiatives here. And I tell you, there's so many bright ideas. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but we'll be making those announcements today. The hackathon event is going to be on the 11th, Friday the 11th September at Bond Hotel by 10 o'clock.
All right. Before you go on to the next update, right? I also wanted you to, for someone who doesn't understand what the hackathon series is entirely about, what is the program designed to do? The hackathon series.
Okay, that's an interesting question. So, a hackathon, by definition, is so what we're trying to do in this hackathon is to get ideas. Since COVID started, and everything is moving to a new industrial phase. We wanted to be able to, we birthed this idea to be able to see how we can support in the Enugu our inventors, people that have bright ideas, whether in the tech space, agri-industry space, whatever the industry is, to get their solutions and the solutions that they've created that can change our lives and help us and to be able to adjust what we're doing. And the idea is to take those ideas and incubate them and take them to the next level. All these global companies, the Facebooks, the Googles, the even coming down to Nigeria, the Flutter Waves, all of them, even the Utiva that we're partnering with on our edutech programs, they all started from their startup incubator. They were supported, and their ideas went to the next level, and they were able to showcase it and grow. So this is us trying to identify the next great business idea, support them, and benefit in their success story, because they have these ideas that can support government as well as
help the young people.
Not just young, everyone.
Everyone.
Yes.
Now, another one I want us to talk about is the update on student Prenatal loans, right? Obviously, we heard that the federal government has okayed universities to reopen. The date hasn't yet been set.
Communicated, yeah. I think Lagos is starting schools on September.
Yeah, I think so too. So, but then, just so you give a brief for students who also are coming back and who are interested and obviously staying so long with, I'm sure a lot of them might have ideas. How can what is the Studentpreneur loan about?
Okay, fantastic. So the Studentpreneur loan is a loan program in partnership with a private sector digital bank called V Bank. So you might know them as VFD Microfinance Bank. The brand name is V Bank. I think they are very big on social media. I think they have Don Jazzy as one of their mascots, and
I have an account with them anyway.
Okay, fantastic. With this digital age, a lot of banks now are moving into digital banking and buying those licenses. When last did you see a Wema Bank office?
Can't remember.
You can't remember, but there's Alert. Alert is their digital bank, so they've moved pretty much all their operations towards that because it's more cost effective. You don't have to build all the structures. But I'm deviating. So with the Studentpreneur loan, what we try to do is provide funding access and access to credit for student entrepreneurs. So students within all our 17 tertiary institutions, I think it's 19 in the States, that are engaged in business. We need you to be engaged in some level of business, because we want to, just based on our last discussion, we want to start cultivating you now. So by the time you develop, you don't fall into the trap of non-inclusion into the financial sector, because that's what's happening now, where some of our top businessmen and women, even traders, they can't access loans no matter how big their business is, because they've not put those inclusion things in place. Their business is not structured the right way. So I want to start now with them. So students within the tertiary institutions that are engaged in business can apply. A lot of them sell items online, foodstuffs, all sort of things. You can apply for it. Whether you're recently graduated youth, you can apply for it, or you're in NYC, you can apply for it.
Now, another question the student would ask is, what does he need to come with for him to be given such a loan?
So the loan, everything is going to be pushed solely digital, because our partner is a digital bank, so it's not really a manual process. Everything will be articulated. We're going to launch on Monday. There've been some slight delays, but we're going to launch on Monday. Just a soft opening to be broadcasted everywhere, all our media platforms. Everybody will be aware. The steps of applying is going to be there. You click, you apply, and you provide the requirements. Everything is going to be stated there. Just off the top of my head, if I remember, identification, evidence that you're a member of this. Yeah, you're a member of this school, or this is who you say you are. In the application process, in the application portal, there's already a space for business plan that you fill out. Then all those things, once you fill them out, upload your documents there, then the administrators, us and VBank, will review. Once a decision is made by VBank that yes, you've met all the risk criteria, you come and meet the conditions precedent to draw down. That is submission of hard copy documents and citing of your guarantor. You sign certain documents, and that's it.
Right.
The funds will be available to you.
Is there a limit to a certain amount a student under the student Prenatal loan can access?
Yeah, for now, I think the standing limit is going to be, I think, anywhere between 150 200,000. A single-digit interest. Then you can decide how long you want it for within the stipulated time. So the portal gives you the option. If you want it for a month, 6 months, you can make that decision. We shall, as time goes on and as more support becomes available, we can be able to increase the funding limits per applicant. Yes, so that's for that one. Which other one do we have here? We have
the business support loan.
Oh yeah, that has been moving very well. Because like I try to explain to people, it's good for us to crawl before we run. I've run into a lot of situations where people come in requesting for loan. You make your investigations. You say, okay, I want 10 million. I know we can't do that, but okay, I want 10 million. Then okay, how much did your business make last year? 500,000. Do you understand? So before we shoot for the jugular, we need to grow our business well and get to the right perspective. So with this cash advance program, you can apply for, as far as you meet the criteria for eligibility, you can apply for close to 5 million, right? So if you manage these funds properly, you can expand beyond your you can expand significantly, because you know what your monthly run rate is. By run rate is, okay, these are the monies I spend every month for my operational cost of the business. So if I can access a facility that doesn't need collateral or whatever, that once I apply in 2-3 days, I have an answer, I'm funded, I can now divert. I'm probably not using the right language, but just for people to understand, that 500 I would have spent, right? I can divert it to buy more inputs for my business, because I've already found additional funds to take care of that requirement. So you're freeing up capital, So it's been going very well. In the last few weeks, we've had over, I think, 500 applications from businesses. Now, also discussing with them, and I think they've funded over 50 businesses now. Also discussing with our partners, they've allowed for individuals to apply. Typically before it was just a registered business with CAC, but now as an individual you can apply. If you want to apply as an individual, you have to come to the SME center for that, because the portal doesn't accommodate for individuals. It only accommodates for businesses to apply.
And your office, you need to give your address when you tell people like this to apply as well.
Apologies. So the Enugu SME Center is located at number 2 Garden Avenue. It's by the SME roundabout, at opposite the Ebano tunnel.
The roundabout.
Yes, opposite Ebano to GRA Enugu.
All right. So the requirements, is it part of the requirements for someone to get this business support loan cash advance
Yeah.
is that the person should have what exactly, so that when someone is listening he could access
They can
himself and
access.
know
So
if he
outside of the
qualifies.
typical documentation you provide, I think the main thing for qualification is that your business or as an individual, you have you meet the minimum monthly turnover requirement, right? So what is monthly turnover? So monthly turnover, when you have your account statement that you've printed from the bank, at the top right corner you see total credit and total debit.
Yeah.
So your monthly average turnover is the addition of those two divided by 2. So if your average monthly turnover as a business is at least minimum 500,000, you can qualify. As a business or an individual, you can qualify, because it's collateral free. You have to make sure that the business that you're providing those funds for, no matter how small, so if can financially can repay it, because the collateral now, since they're not collecting any physical collateral, your BVN and the direct debit instructions are standing for it. So I love what the BVN does, because if you don't pay, they shut you down. You can't transact, you can't withdraw money, you can't do anything until you pay back. So it's a very good collateral.
Now, what about the
check.
Agnes loan as well?
Okay, so like I mentioned to you a few months ago, we just onboarded 1,000 applicants. As an EDI, which is the Entrepreneurial Development Institute for the state, our job for this loan, because for you to apply for this loan, you have to go through training from an EDI, is to provide training, and we can also provide support in onboarding your business plan into the portal. After that, your application is now transferred to NISA, who calls you for an interview. Once you're successful in your interview, anywhere between 60 and 90 days, because there's a huge backlog, but anywhere between 60 and 90 days, you get your funds. So we've onboarded over 1,000. They are with the CBN NISA now, going through interviews and things of that nature. We want to kickstart a second batch of 700. So we've had people come to the office say they are interested in applying. So we want to kick that off from next week. So they'll be communicated. After that, we now want to incorporate a plan to expand this across the states, where we're going to train at least 4 to 5 people per local government as extension staff of the SME Center to provide this training at the grassroots level. And we'll also try and see how we can subsidize the payment from that 10,000 lower for the rural community, so they can apply. And we push all these things to NISA, because this is what's going on in the north. So we need to make sure we benefit no matter which way. Yes.
All right. Another while we're talking, I got a couple of text messages and some questions people wanted me to ask you. You said that one of them is that the problem that some businesses in some states face is, apart from access to loan that you guys are tackling right now, another one is multiple taxation and levies. And he's asking, is there anything the center is doing, since they're seeing that the governor is also a friendly governor, are they liaising with the governor to somehow reduce the amount or the number of taxes and levies that they pay?
It's funny you mentioned this. We've had interactions with SEMA on this, and so what we've tried to do, because it's not necessarily within our purview, as you have the tax board, but we've been having interactions with the chairman, and this is something that is also something that he's key in ensuring that it's done. So it's something we're working on. We are trying to intervene and see how we can support. But I know the chairman of the Enugu State Board, tax board, is seriously on this matter to make sure that it's done properly.
All right. Another one, Uchendo Obialo, says, how can I sign up for digital marketing program? I've just made 128,000 naira since June through digital marketing. Please, how can I get in on this amazing program and learn more about all of the things that you mentioned, digital marketing, content creation, etc.?
Okay, so the digital marketing program is the ES program. If he's interested in coming in, even though he was not selected, he can come to the office and see if he can access the human capital loan, or if he's interested in paying directly, and the subsidized payment. But you can check our websites, www.enugusme.en.gov.ng, to be updated on our programs.
Okay, so Omega Namani is making a suggestion. He's saying that he's suggesting it's a relevant suggestion. He's suggesting I'm advocating for town hall meetings so that the masses at the interior areas will be acquainted of this development. Also, the interest should be moderate to make it more accessible.
It's zero interest. How
Right.
can you go below zero? I don't understand it. Yet.
All right, I can't take more. I'll just show the
But you understand? It's
yeah.
zero interest.
Right.
Zero interest means no interest. I don't know how you can reduce no interest again.
Right.
That's one thing. The second thing with the town halls, that's what we're trying to do with the one-on-one sessions. But due to COVID now, we have to make sure that we just keep pushing and making sure the information gets to everyone.
All right. So for people who also would want more information, obviously, I would need you to give your handles. And
Yeah,
your
so they can go to
website.
Enugu. Our handles are Enugu SME Agency at Enugu SME Agency on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. For our website, you go to www.enugusme.en.gov.ng. That's www.enugusme.en.gov.ng to be carried along on our programs and see how you can participate.
Now, there is another question that people often ask me. That's about is there a phone number? Because people are more familiar with calling and talking to someone. Is there a phone
yes.
number that they can call? To get more information about
Yes,
this.
yes, yes,
'Cause
yes.
I've had calls because people go to your handle and see my picture and then they call,
They call
me
you.
and ask me. And so
Our phone numbers are 0808 934 4768. I'll say that again. 0808 934 4768. Then you have 0808 499 8224. That is 0808 499 8224. Then the last number is 0904 243 9495. That is 0904 243 9495.